Is there anything better in this world than the Montreal Canadiens beating the Toronto Maple Leafs any day of the year? But especially home opener, season opener, something that hasn't been done in a long time. And I mean a very, very long time. This is why I love this franchise. This is why I love the Montreal Canadiens. This is why I love doing this podcast. It's a new episode of the Curfew Boys. We got three of us tonight. I am Sammy with my cousin Chris for the first time together this season. And Joey, the man I've been waiting for.
The man you're going to say that I'm correct. I predicted a win in the home opener.
The guy I'm going to fucking trash a good part of the night.
I'm ready.
You better be ready. You have no choice but to be ready. Hi and welcome, everybody. What a fantastic past 24 hours it's been for Habs Nation, for Habs fans everywhere. Kicking off the season at the Bell Center, like always against Toronto, but I think I checked, boys. I think the last time the Canadiens had an home opener, season opener, both of them, was October 1st in 2012.
Yeah.
I believe.
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
It was a long time. It was literally almost, oh my God, it's almost 10 years ago.
Basically. We either opened the season always with Buffalo or with Toronto.
Yeah, exactly. And I think the last time the Canadiens did not lose the season opener at the Bell Center was back in 2000. I think it was 2002. I remember checking here, like we forgot they tied Toronto 2-2 back then. Remember when ties, when the games ended in a tie?
Yep,
that's literally
frustrating.
Oh my God, frustrating. Sometimes I wonder if they should bring that back. But anyways, yeah, guys, let's just get straight to it, man. The Habs, they beat the Leafs by a final score of 4-3. It started like usual. I'm gonna sound biased here, and I really don't care. I truly don't. Find me an arena, an NHL arena that does opening ceremonies better than the Bell Center. I dare you all. I don't care if I'm biased, but seriously, I dare you all. Find one, please, and let us know, because yesterday was just another example of beautiful, classic. Yeah.
I think, you know what? I have to say Vegas. What you're going, Vegas is the closest that comes to us, but that's spectatorship, that's showmanship on their part. But talk about class, respect, call back to former generations of a club with such a rich franchise. Nobody does it like Montreal. If you look at other good hockey markets, and I'll finally tip my hat to you, Toronto, you're a good hockey market. Your freaking entrances are so cheesy. They're corny. Nobody likes them. So I'm with Sammy on that. Nobody does it like Montreal.
Did anybody see? I don't know who here has Twitter, but did you guys see on Twitter like Ottawa fans and Senators fans are there like, oh, the torch is cheesy, and it's like, but you realize
they have a fucking senator dressed up like a Roman soldier that comes out. What kind of stupidity is that?
No, but they also forget where the torch comes from. You know, from Flanders Field, the famous Canadian poem.
Yeah, I don't think they realize that. That's
no, they don't. But this is why I'm calling out Sens fans. Imagine like Ottawa Senators, like the capital of the country, okay, where the origin of where that poem's from. They should know this. What do you want? They're Sens fans. They're Leafs fans. What can you do? You know, I guess all men are created equal, and then some just become Sens fans or Leafs fans. I don't know. But anyways, I digress. I love that opening ceremony, like Chris said. Just an homage to the legends, Lafleur, Beliveau, Richard, all the others, the dynasty of the 70s too. And I actually love the intro to the players. I think one of them really.
Did you shed a tear?
I did. Hey, okay, listen. If you're a fan of Carey Price and you didn't shed or almost shed a tear after the intro that he had, like you're either not human, you're a robot, you have no soul, or you're just you're dead inside. That
Even
was
Patrick Lalime.
beautiful.
Even Patrick Lalime said, "Do you heard it in his voice?" And he asked him, "Did you shed a tear?" And he says, "Yeah, I've been through that. When your career is on the back end and you're not sure that you're ever going to play again, and what this guy has done for the city." Patrick Lalime was actually emotional on air.
Yeah. Oh, I believe it. And you saw that Price like really soaked it in. Yeah. I hope to God it's not the end, but like he looked like it was almost like he was saying a goodbye type of thing. Like a
It
thank
seemed
you
like
and a
it, yeah.
goodbye.
Yep.
I'm happy they brought out Paul Byron too. You know, even I think what was the day before they announced that he's done for the year with his hip problems.
I think he's similar in Price's path. I don't think there's really much left for him.
I don't think so either. But the worst thing about it is that it's his contract year. So let's say by some miracle he does recover at this point, or as of that point, it's going to be trying to find a team that's willing to take a chance on him.
Yeah, true. Personally, for him, it's not great.
No.
But Montreal, I mean, whether it's forced or not, you can see, and maybe this will bring us, to the game and to our next segment of it is we're finally trending towards, the players of our future.
Mm-hmm.
We're starting to slowly get rid of the older generation and starting with new.
So when you say the older generation, you actually mean the Marc Bergevin era players, right?
Yes. But I think there's one left.
Well,
I mean, there's guys drafted by him, but I'm saying
no. Okay. I'm not. I'm okay. I'm gonna exclude the guys drafted by him from Caufield till Mayu. I'm gonna exclude those guys because right now it's only Caufield that's there. Mind you, Caden Gooley got his NHL debut, but we're gonna get to him later. Suzuki was the trade, and then Mayu. Well, we all know that story. But I mean, like players he acquired or drafted, and I'm talking about like when he first started, when Bergevin first started.
Yeah,
there's only Gallagher left.
That's right.
Even though Price is Balgani era, Price became who he was with in the Bergevin era. Drouin was a healthy scratch contract year, and then there's Byron that's got him too. He's
I don't know.
LTIR.
Hoffman, does he count? I mean, he was signed by him, but
yeah, but no, he wasn't part of the retool. You know what I mean? Like Drouin was part of the retool. Weber was part of the retool. But when Bergevin came in, he drafted Galchenyuk, he drafted Gallagher, he drafted McCarron and Beaulieu, and those guys, they're all gone. The only one that's left is Gallagher. And then in the retool era, if you want to call it, there's only who's left? There's only Drouin. That's it. He picked up Paul Byron maybe a season or two before that. Petry's gone. There's nobody left. So we really have entered a new era with this team, and it freaking showed last night. It really showed that this is Kent Hughes, Jeff Gordon, Marty St. Louis team now, and we got a beautiful performance out of them last night, where everyone thought we were going to get killed against the Leafs, the strong, mighty Maple Leafs. Apparently, that's what the fuck people think they are. You go 0-8 in the preseason. I mean, eventually you're gonna have to win one, and I'm just so happy. I'm so glad it turned out to be the fucking season home opener. What a night! What a night!
Yeah, and it showed with the team. The team played well yesterday. The core did well. The young core I'm speaking of. There were a few. I mean, we were talking about this off pod. There were a few players, the more experienced, that actually, to me, made more mistakes, which was kind of odd. Not odd, but I guess because we knew what's going to come. And, I'm going to start with David Savard, my favorite.
Yep.
I don't know. He was okay, but he got outperformed by the rookies, in my opinion. So, I mean, he's not going to be there as part of the future. But overall, it was a positive game. They played super well. I'm glad they won it. I predicted they win, and I wanted them to win the opener, even though I want them to tank. Slavkovsky had a decent game, drew a penalty, had a really good chance.
Yep.
Who played the most minutes out of any defenseman or any any Canadian on the ice. Jack, I know he was beat on the breakaway and he caused a penalty shot, but you can tell like this guy wants to be there. He had his head down. They bailed him out, got his head back up. Harris had a solid game. Habs did get outshot, but they did not get outplayed. Not as what we saw last year. Last year, they would get outshot by 10, 15, 20, but you could tell they seriously would get outplayed. Not this year. Power play, their final five was good. Power play still needs work. It still looked a little lost, but we don't really have a power play quarterback. But overall, I mean, the core really, they impressed for game one. They really did. And they can only get better. I mean, this is literally their first NHL experience. So hats off to them.
So, Joe, so basically what you're saying is you want the Canadians to now go 1-81. You're okay with that?
I will say, and I think Chris made the best point, I will say 4-78.
But it doesn't make it any better. It's still the most random record ever.
No, because Chris said the exact point. I'm stealing it from Chris because they beat Toronto another 3 times.
Boston, Bo. I also want them to be Boston. No.
Boston. I'm sorry that rivalry is not there right now. Zdeno Chara's gone. Bergeron's on his last legs. I think that rival needs to kick back up. When a new core comes in, they're not there yet.
Yeah,
so
I think Marchand's on LTIR too. So Rask is gone. Torrey
gone.
Torrey Krug, that little shit, he's gone too.
Well, look though, don't you find the roles are kind of inversed? Boston has quite a bit of talent, but we have the fucking big bruisers. Like, isn't it the time to beat the shit out of the Boston players and be?
Yeah, but it's the old players you want to beat the shit out of. It's new players that are in Boston. No, I'm serious. I'm just saying about the old core.
You're scaring me.
That's the one that bothered us so much. You know, they used to pound spot check. You remember spot check?
Oh, that was
ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, it wasn't
bell going.
Who was that had Tom Pyatt and just with his elbow pad, he's just
Campbell.
I think it was just Campbell. Like he man, he's just like waving the fucking
the
wand on his head. Like,
all those guys are gone. We had the same situation, I think, with Toronto when they were really bad and they were going through a transition. We're kind of having that with Boston. Not saying Boston's bad, but they're going through a bit of a transition as themselves. Yeah. So there's no rivalry right now, in my opinion.
I was so happy they. So part of the opening ceremony, when you had Gallagher, Suzuki, Caufield saying, "Remember when this happened, or when this happened, or when the fights and the brawls would happen," and you just see Kovalev just fucking stick up his shoulder over that Darcy fuckhead Tucker's fucking schnoz. Oh my god, that highlight! There's so many Alexei Kovalev highlights that I love throughout his, not with just the Canadians, but throughout his career. I think that one has to be a top 3. There's
fire. There's passion.
The top 3 highlights of my Kovalev real quick before we get back on track. It's the helmetless goal against Boston. It's Joey. I remember when Kovalev scored this with Team Russia, where he deked the shit out of the defender and on the goal line at such a bad angle, roofed it. That's my second. And then the third is just that Darcy Tucker, you piece of shit. Yeah. Anyways, I digress. Yeah, Joe. For real. Yes, like the win itself was perfect, but the overall play, in my eyes, it wasn't perfect, but it was great to see. It was amazing to see. Guys, do you remember the last time the Canadians had 3 rookies skating or like taking warm up solo?
Last year, didn't they?
At the same time, who was on the same time?
They never had 3 at the same time. First
3 rookies
in the NHL.
Yeah. 3 guys the same night making their NHL debut. I don't remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, at the same night. Okay. No, not the same night.
I think possibly Galchenyuk and Gallagher had the same, possibly. Don't quote me on it, but I think that was the closest that we've come to last night.
Yeah. Interesting. I loved it. I loved Did you see Slavkovsky's smile when he got introduced?
Yeah.
His smile was like from ear to ear, man, and he was loving. He was on. That kid looked like he was on cloud 9, just like, It's like he was enjoying it, and that's what we want to see. Like that's like I like the fact how hockey players, they're a lot of them are, they're serious, but they're not that outgoing. Like, how can I say that? They're not like extroverts. Most of them doesn't mean they're it doesn't mean like just when on camera, but I love like Slavkovsky's reaction. Like it was amazing.
What
I
about
love
his
seeing that.
interview?
Yeah, his interview was pretty cool. What did I see? I saw bits of it where he was saying that he loved the crowd. He couldn't believe it.
He said, "What better
He loved
than
the fact that
Go ahead,
oh
Chris.
the fact that he finished it off by saying, "Yeah, we got to beat the better players." So he was happy to beat Austin Matthews, and they said, "I'm happy to beat Toronto in particular." And it's just like
Perfect.
he gives these little golden tidbits almost every interview he gives, and
Yeah,
you see right away especially I watch a lot on RDS, and you see a lot of the reporters right away. They're smiling ear to ear too as soon as one of his interviews ends because he always gives that little pearl, that little gem to hang on to and to smile about. He's got a magnetic and outstanding character, and he's like you said, he's not an overwhelming extrovert. And he's exactly what Kent Hughes said. He's funny and confident, while
yeah,
at the same time humble.
yeah. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, absolutely. I kind of wonder, part of me wonders if he was able to speak like proper English, kind of like us, like if he would be still considered like funny or whatever. But yeah, I love this kid. I love his character. Man, that opportunity he had in the high slot, like it was a good shot. If he would have roofed that, I'm telling you, the roof of the building of the Bell Center would have caved down, like 100%.
I hope
100%.
he scores before if well we'll talk about it. If he does get sent down, whatever, I want him to score a goal with Montreal. I really do.
I hope so too. Um, Speaking of goals, I mean, geez, was it meant to be for Cole Caufield to get 2 goals last night, and the way he did them?
The way he and Suzuki were playing, yeah, that's signature Cole Caulfield. You're either gonna get him to score on the power play once we can fix it, or the way he scored yesterday, because that's Cole Caulfield.
Which one? The way he scored yesterday, he scored 2 of them, 2 beautiful ones.
Both. He's gonna anytime he gets that chance down the wing, either side, he can hit that corner, no screen, nothing. Like that's an elite shot. Every time he scores or he has a good game, I always think back to the Philadelphia draft party where they were screaming
Oh
"Not yet,
yes,
Cole Caulfield."
yeah, but they when Philly's manager or whoever announced it, they're like from the U.S.
The US
national.
Cam York.
They all cheer, yeah, Cole, Cam York. What the fuck? It's like a bunch. It's, typical Philly anger. It's just like,
Well, they had a right to be.
yeah,
We're seeing it now, right? So, and we even have to me, the best defensive prospect from the USA, from the development. Screw Cam York. We have Lane Hudson.
oh my god, his NCAA debut was phenomenal, phenomenal. Like I don't want to rush this kid, but if he makes it look way too easy in the NCAA, I don't know, man. I think I expect Hughes to try to sign him within 2 seasons from
Could
now.
we have finally a quarterback power play? Am I gonna
He's gonna
cross my
he,
fingers?
he's gonna 100% be that kind of player. I think they're gonna wait for him to grow just a little bit, like
Of
he's
course, of
supposed
course.
to. Because right now, I think he's measured in at 5'8" or 9, and he's supposed to go up to 5'10", 5'11". I think they're gonna wait for that and just wait for his game to progress. But he picked up like 3 assists in his
Yeah, He
debut.
looked. I saw the highlights. Looked very good.
He did like the head fake. One guy, like the forward that's trying to cover him. Like I think the jock strap ended up on one rafter, the glove and the helmet went on the other. It's that kid's ridiculous. And I saw him at the Montreal Canadiens development camp, like early in the summer. He's phenomenal. That kid's insane. So I really hope he progresses, and if he's gonna become part of that future, like wow. But Cole Caufield, dude, man, when he roofed that first one, oh my god, that was fucking beautiful. That was
Yep.
beautiful. That saucer pass from Suzuki as well was absolutely phenomenal. And you could tell those guys been hanging out together, or at least gotten close, because
Yeah.
they have that chemistry on the ice. It's ridiculous. Literally picking up where they left off from last season when Marty came in. A little shades here and there of those two together during the playoffs. When they beat Toronto, it's It's beautiful. All of this against the Maple Leafs.
And
You know,
and he's on pace to win the Rocket Richard, 164 goals. He's on pace.
Okay.
Hey, McDavid has 3 already.
My God. Ovechkin didn't even get 70 in a season. Can we please stop?
But you know what's crazy about Caufield? He
What?
had 2 goals. He could have had up to 5. I think he had 5 good scoring chances
Well,
yesterday.
he missed. Well, remember
The first one in the first period. Yeah.
exactly. He missed that one. Imagine he gets that one. He's got
That's
a hat trick.
first game. Yeah.
That's a hat trick. Like, I wonder if there's any player out there that scored a hat trick in the last game of their season and then scored a hat trick in their opening game the next season.
That is
tough
stat to follow.
I wonder if there's a player stat out there that exists. So all my
at least he's continuing his progression under St. Louis. Like St. Louis has done wonders with him.
Yeah, but you know what? I'm convinced a lot of it is just from him.
It could be, but coincidentally, when St. Louis got hired,
I believe
scoring.
I believe Marty is the motivational factor. I truly believe that. I believe Marty is the common denominator, but I just think Caufield himself he knew after going down to Laval and the rough start he had of the first half of last season. I think for him, he knew that he never wanted to feel that again, and he knew he had to step it up. Having a guy like St. Louis, a guy that he idolized when he was a kid, for sure, it absolutely must help. But I just think Cole really focused on himself, his game, and really put in the work to improve his game. The preseason, he and even yesterday, he looks like he's at another level. He probably worked out. He probably did a lot of. Apparently, he was on the ice a lot during the offseason. He trained with a lot of other NHL players. Like he trained with Scheifele. He trained with I don't know who else. I drawing a memory blank here, but like he was on the ice a lot this offseason, and it shows. It shows.
What stands out the most, I find, is he got quicker.
Yep.
He's able to dangle in the space the size of a phone booth.
Yeah.
Like I'm finding his hands are even quicker.
Yeah.
On top of his just overall speed. And he's driving the play a lot more. He's carrying that puck. He's seeing the ice better, but like it's really he's getting himself into these really, really dangerous positions to be shooting. And look, even yesterday, his second goal, he's looking up for the pass. He had just a fraction of a second to make just a little adjustment and roof it, and he did. And that's all the difference. I'm sorry to maybe too. He's confident. He knows his place is in Montreal. He's happy that he's going to have a coach that he loves to play for. He works his ass off and has a partner in Suzuki that the chemistry is off the charts right from the get-go. Like this kid has every reason to go into the offseason and work his ass off. And I'm super happy to see the result of that. Joey, you mentioned the power play. I just wanted to get to this. I don't know if I agree with you in the first part of the game, but do you remember towards the end when they had one of their last power plays? They dominated. They stayed in the zone.
Power play they did.
Yeah, Suzuki was on one side, Caufield was on the other side, and I think it was Weidman on the back end, and they freaking didn't leave that zone. If they play any bit like that, that's going to be a hell of a good power play and a dangerous one too.
They controlled the zone very well in the last power play, but the offensive instinct besides Caufield and Suzuki is what I find is lacking. This is what we're seeing, the power play quarterback and maybe a guy along the boards. I'm hoping Slavkovsky can fill like the bumper spot, the guy in front of net, or a guy along the boards. And when Lane Hudson comes in, or obviously in a shorter term, if Mike Matheson come back, I think he'll be able to help that. That's the part I think we're missing. Just that offensive instinct, that IQ. Like you see when Toronto has it with Matthews, Marner, and Nylander and Tavares.
Yeah, absolutely.
You could just see that there's a difference, even though we were in the zone for 2 minutes. But once we fix those areas, that's great. But for the love of God, stop the freaking drop pass. Oh my God.
It's the classic. It's the classic, the Nick Suzuki. I mean, he's the only one that's able to carry the puck, but it's the classic Nick Suzuki down the middle, and then he backhand sauce it to the guy on his right, just so it could go over the defender's stick. That's the last one at the blue line. but it's a bit predictable. But that's the only concern I have, is that on that power play, I don't know which wave it is, but there's only one defender in there to somewhat play quarterback. I don't even think Weidman is considered a quarterback, but he is a good power play specialist to some degree. And then the other one, you have only 5 forwards. Like, to me, that's
Well, they're missing
that's a bit
Matheson. I
concerning.
think he's supposed to be the other one when he comes back.
Yeah, I guess so. But I wonder if this is a thing where it's like, okay, do they bring back Jonathan Drouin in the lineup and on the power play?
Where do you fit him? I think he comes back.
I don't know.
I think he comes back if you either bench Hoffman, who's not been playing well, or you send down Slavkovsky. That's where I think he'll slot in.
Interesting. I wonder. I still don't know. I still don't know what they're going to do with Slavkovsky. I really don't know.
Neither do I.
He's played the one game.
To stay up.
Yeah,
but
so far
he like, I understand if they keep him because he's playing okay enough, but I understand if they send him down. What I will not understand is if they do keep him up, but they won't. I would have this fear if we were still under Ducharme, him playing like Wright played yesterday, 6 minutes a game. No, if you give him 6 minutes, you send him down to Laval. But they're not going to do that.
No, he played 10 minutes and 34 seconds.
Yeah, he did. I'm just saying like Wright, because Wright played 6 minutes yesterday.
I would have loved to have seen him play a little bit more in the third period. I find
me too. He played a bit safe, Marty, because we were still in the game, and you know what's funny is they took off Slavkovsky for Danilov.
Yeah.
On the last shift.
Yeah. But
funny enough, right?
Wait. There was one thing to add, though, guys, and Marty specified it after the game. Marty, like he's my best friend, but
he's all of our best friends.
He's all of our best friends. We all love him.
We all love him, but he actually specified after the game how much did special teams play in the game. Like there were a lot of power plays and there were a lot of penalty kills. St. Louis actually openly said Slavkovsky would have had more minutes had there not been as much special teams play throughout the game. So
yeah,
I'm very, very curious to see what his time is going to be next game, especially if they're disciplined or unlucky in getting power plays.
So look, let's say for argument's sake here, they're going to keep him for the 9 games. There's already 1 game in, 8 left theoretically. I wonder if after the next 2-3 games are played, the first half, like if the first half of those 9 games he's played off the power play, I wonder if the remaining half they're going to try to put him on the power play just to see, just maybe to help them decide whether he's going to be sent down or not. So
that's what I was going to ask. But Chris, do you feel like Slavkovsky should be on the power play at some point? Because I thought Marty St. Louis would give him an opportunity at a certain point to try the power play, but they didn't. Given the struggles too, I thought they could have given him a chance.
Okay. And this is, I'm going to answer it by kind of stating something else. And I'm going to make Joey happy because I'm kind of shitting on Gallagher a little bit here. I do not like Gallagher's ability to pass.
I hate you both.
On the power play. On the power play. He's great in the bumper position, but on the boards, I do see Slavkovsky being that big body, and I find he makes an excellent, clean, quick pass that can be very, very, very well utilized. The only thing with Slavkovsky is, you mentioned this before. Was it Joey or Sammy? I apologize for not remembering, but
it was me.
Slavkovsky, when he puts his head down and he drives and he drew that penalty, that's how he has to be skating the second that he gets on the ice, all the way to when he gets off the ice. I told you last time, he's got his head on a swivel when he's looking around and not fucking just driving. He's not the same player. When he puts his head down and he goes for it, I'm like, holy shit, this is a dominant force. This guy could be extremely dominant very quickly. He has the means to do it. And he's in that very moment, he's confident. And if he's ready to play like that, if he's solid with the 2 hands on the stick, ready to play along the boards, ready to be strong and aware of the surroundings, absolutely. He's got his place on that power play. I think it'll be overdue by the time he gets on.
That's true. Yeah. Fair point. I think with the swivel with the head, I think it's a bit of nerves too. He doesn't want to get. I don't think he wants to get rocked.
For sure. And he did, unfortunately. And I think now he's playing a little bit more cautious. But
he's still in the learning phase, though. But like, there's one thing you notice is he uses his big body to, win those puck battles. But then once he does, he's actually able to dish it to someone that's in the open.
That's
And
right.
he did that. I think he did that on one of the plays, and I wonder if it's the same one that he drew a penalty on. I'm wondering if it's that one. But again, it's just easy. You just got to play to his strengths slowly. And, I truly think before they make that decision, maybe 2 or 3 games before, I think they will. I just get that feeling. It could be another one of those situations where, like, if by some miracle the Canadiens are winning 4-0 from now till the 9th game, if they're winning like 4-0 with
Oof.
like less than 10 minutes left in the third period or something like that, and they get another power play, they'll probably put them on. They'll probably take off a guy. They'll probably take off a Hoffman or a Dandanov or even a Gallagher for you two fucking schmucks. They'll probably and they'll put in Slavkovsky.
You want to know what? Devil's
Yeah.
advocate. Just to wrap up the power play, because I want to go. What if they're trying to showcase Dadonov? What if they're trying to showcase Hoffman?
I
These
think-
guys need to be traded, so they're putting them also in a
This
position
early?
to succeed.
Oh,
I think so. I think the sooner the better.
Okay, so hold on a sec. Let me extend an olive branch to that. How about Sean Monahan?
Oh yes.
Played well. I'm glad he came back from his surgery and he's doing well because in Calgary,
The guy was either Darth Vader or RoboCop. Like pick one. The poor guy is just like every limb of his was busted.
see, yeah, it's hard to judge because obviously I'm
Yeah.
not a professional athlete and I don't have injuries like Monahan does, so you don't know from experience. But when you see on the guy with the ice and he's playing, maybe not with an injury in terms of like that's keeping off the ice, but when you're playing with something that's lingering, it's
you're
very
not-
hard to play.
You're not the same anymore.
You're not
Exactly.
the same. Exactly. So, but us as we're the armchair coaches, like we see him like, fuck, Monahan, excuse my language.
You're the armchair coaches.
We
You're the
all
arm-
are, Sam.
No.
We all
You are. Some of us play. You are the armchair coach, my friend.
Even if you play rec beer league hockey, you're still an armchair coach because you're commenting on Montreal, not a professional athlete. We all are.
So we're professional podcasters then on this team.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. And we'll stick to our jobs. We do it very well. No, but for Monahan, they said he's back. He may not be 100%, but at least it's a lot better when we did it at Calgary, and it showed.
Mhm.
Big goal, played a big game. I thought he
Yeah.
was better than Dvorak was. Dvorak, I don't know. I don't want to speak of this.
Well, I mean, but look, Dvorak. Listen, if anything, I think Dvorak is where he's supposed to be. He's a third line center.
Not at this money. Not at
Okay,
this salary.
okay. Granted, fine, but I think in terms of like just getting the job done, like he's
Yeah, getting the job done, but it's not his play that's always going to bother me with Dvorak, and we'll get back to Monahan. It's like the Gallagher. It's the extras that come with it. It cost us a first-round pick, and it's costing us $4.5 million a year.
Yeah,
That's bad. That's bad asset value. It is.
It is, but I mean, let's look at the reasons why. You lost Philippe Danault, your best face-off man or centerman. Dvorak was the next one,
And KK got traded. So your response is to get this and finish last. I mean,
so what more can you ask for then?
I just don't. I personally, if I could, just to get rid of it, and because Kent Hughes is like struggling with cap space. He's one of the guys. Hopefully, we can.
I'm not worried about him. Oh my god, I'm not worried about this guy at all.
No, I'm not worried about Kent Hughes. I'm just saying he's worried, and his job is to create cap space, which is like insanely hard to do. It takes time, I know. But Dvorak was okay. But getting back to Monahan, he played well, and I thought he was definitely one of our better centers.
Did you guys like Kirby Dach's play also?
I did. I did. I thought he was composed.
Yeah.
Look, he's a 21-year-old kid.
I know.
He's
still young.
I personally, like, we didn't mention it last time. One of the remedies to our shitty power play zone entries is going to be Kirby Dach. I think he controls play super well. That's another guy that I'd say has his spot along the boards. He's like a right-handed. He's got the frame of a right-handed Slavkovsky, and he's got a hell of a lot of talent. And I think he's a better passer than most guys on this team.
He's got hands, man. The guy's got hands. If he would have scored that wraparound, I jumped. But you know how some guys, okay, it's hard for me to describe on video and through the computer, But like when they go the wraparound, they kind of like they kind of like slide and they turn their whole body with the stick just to get that angle of the puck inside. Did you see? He was behind the net. He was behind the net.
He's like Mr.
he had a-
Fantastic, fucking stretching.
Dude, no shit. He was behind. He was literally
he had an early start point, which is actually crucial. Yeah,
between the position of his body and where the stick was. He was literally He was 90 degree. The guy was a 90-degree angle. Like it was the perfect like. Man, if he would have scored that, I was at work watching this with my colleagues, and we jumped. We literally jumped out of our seats. We thought he scored, but fucking Murray just
that much.
You know, guys, what this is. Anyways, yeah.
Does he have potential to be the second line center?
I don't know if I'm not ready to commit whether or not he's going to be a centerman. I think he's just going to be a great piece.
Okay. I think he's going to be top 6. Here, you very good question. Here's what I'm hoping, because if he's not a centerman, let's say to the side, no, he's better off at wing. Like he shows he's a lot more comfortable at wing. What if Owen Beck becomes a second line center and they pair those two together one day?
I'm surprised you said Beck. I was gonna say Massar.
I don't know. I see Massar as a winger.
He looked better as a center when he played preseason.
He did, but
funny enough.
But I want to see him play versus men. Like I want to see him play in. I hope he stays in Laval. I know Hughes said that he plays in the OHL with Kitchener, so he could put up 80 points there instead of 40. Maybe 40. Listen, you put up 40 points in the minors in your rookie year as a pro, or at least as a pro in North America. It's pretty freaking good. So
especially it's his first action in North America ice too.
Yeah, right? That's what I'm saying. It's his first time being pro in North America. So
as for Owen Beck,
did you see the picture of him and Slavkovsky's dad?
Yeah.
Yes.
he looks like Slavkovsky's younger brother, and then dad just brought him along.
You want to know what the sad part is? I think Slavkovsky's dad was the only guy in that arena with the Montreal Canadiens jersey with the RBC patch on it.
Yeah, that's true.
Possibly. He probably got that for free, so he doesn't give a shit.
Sam,
I know. I just had to rip on it.
As for Owen Beck, if he becomes our second line center, it can't be another Dandino because that's been the sort of comparison. That's what you don't want in your second line center. Man.
I think he might have a bit more scoring touch than.
If he does, great. If not, I hope Kirby Doc.
Who's Dadino, by the way? You said Dadino. Who the fuck is that?
Dano, my God.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, if he is touted to be like Dano, like his potential, I don't want that as a second line center. I'm sorry.
I think he's got a bit more of a scoring touch, though. I really think. I think if you give him good wingers, I think he might be able to do something. Him and Massar looked amazing, though.
I'm going to reveal my frustration. I am tired of seeing a struggling offense in the Montreal Canadiens. Tired of seeing it. With the Bergevin era, that's what I just don't want with Hughes.
I mean, okay, sure. The Bergevin era, you had Pacioretty, who scored 30 goals for God knows how many seasons.
As a team, we always struggled to score. You had one guy that scored. Sam, we haven't had a guy hit 80 points since Kovalev.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he's scored 84 points in 82 games.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We haven't had those scoring. Like, I'm not saying to be a Colorado. Like, obviously, I'd love to be, but those guys, 30-goal scorers, and then 20, and then you have guys that get 90, 87. We have one guy that makes 60, 65, 68 points, and then the rest just
off the map.
Terrible. We've never been a good offensive team under Bergevin. I hate to say it. We'll have one good goal scorer and a decent playmaker, but we never had a good offensive.
Oh yeah, because that team got carried by Carey. No joke.
Well, but that's hard. But that's hard to watch because you end up watching the game, and the best parts of the game are Carey Price's saves, not anything at the end of the ice. And it's a miracle if they score.
I think Vasilevsky is going to be the last of those. I mean, teams would kill for an elite goaltender like Carey Price, like Andre Vasilevsky. But if
Shesterkin.
Yeah, but I mean, Shesterkin it took time to find him. You get what I'm saying? Whereas Vasilevsky and Price, they started right away, and everybody knew they were going to be elite goaltenders and probably the best in the world. But I think now, like, look at Colorado last year. Like, who do they have in nets? They had was it Ranta and Frank Sauce?
No, it was
No.
Kemper.
Oh, sorry, right, Kemper. Sorry, I got mixed up when both of them played in Arizona. Is Kemper really an elite goaltender?
No, but their team is also a team that you don't hardly see constructed every year due to the cap.
So my point
You
is that I think teams now are seeing that if you want to, I don't
Good
know,
goaltender.
building you
A
want
good.
a very very good goaltender, but do you really want to build from the back outwards? Like,
No, you
so
definitely don't. But I'm saying too, it's very hard to get a team like Colorado like at any point because I think
Mhm.
Colorado have they were the Tampa Bay of a few years ago. They were able to make such a powerhouse team under the cap, but those teams are few and far between. Like those don't come often as well. That's why a guy like Kemper, you
Yeah,
definitely need better than Kemper for a normal team that wins a cup. But Colorado, I actually found they were better than most teams that won the cup recently.
Joe. If you look at, sorry, Chris, I'm going to say this, then you go. If you look at it, almost every team that won the cup in a cap era, the highest paid player did not get more than 9 million, as far as I can remember. I
Oh,
think
definitely. And it's not a goaltender. Your goaltender cannot be your highest paid.
exactly.
Yeah.
So Toronto, it's not going to fucking happen.
Yeah, and the point to be made, or the point that I wanted to make, would Jake Allen have won a cup if he was playing with Colorado? Yes, last year. I think yes.
Yeah,
As their
it
number
is a
I
one,
possibility. Yeah.
as
as
a
a
number
number
one.
one, would he have won the cup if he was the starting goaltender for the Colorado Avalanche in last year's playoff? I
That's a
think
good.
the answer is yes, and
That's
that's
a good
just a
question.
testament
Well,
to what
look,
you're saying.
But at the same time, too, it's when St. Louis won, he was the backup to Binnington. So, and I understand Binnington was the hot goalie from mid-year onwards, but it's a good question.
well, look, we'll see this year, Chris, because
Breaking
I'm not a huge fan of. Oh,
breaking news regarding the Canadians, live as we say this. Mike Matheson to miss 8 weeks.
what's
Caden
he been
Gooley,
playing?
perfect transition because there's
I
something that
know.
I
Okay.
absolutely.
Hold that thought, Joel. Just finish your point, and then
Yeah, I'm
I
not
want to talk
a. I
about.
was just gonna say I'm not a huge fan of Gorgiev or Georgiev, the backup goalie of New York. I think he's a bit. I don't know. I think he lets in like he's a bit suspect, is what you can say.
Yeah, but
So we'll see this year.
yeah,
He's Colorado's number one.
well,
We'll see.
that's it. Him, and I call him Frank Sauce because I can't pronounce his name properly. Him and Frank Sauce. I think they're gonna split duties. I think Gorgiev or Georgiev might get more games, but yeah, absolutely. So okay, well, listen, no joke, a perfect transition here. Breaking news right now: Mike Matheson to miss 8 weeks. I mean, fuck it. Is this a necessary evil in a sense, if you want to use that term, for the kids, for especially the three kids there that made the team on defense. You know, you have your Jordan Harris, your Arbor Jacki, and your Caden Gooley. I want to start by Caden Gooley here. I don't remember when's the last time a defenseman on his NHL debut, just with the Montreal Canadiens, had the most minutes played, time on ice, 22 minutes and 34 seconds.
It's been a
I
while.
I don't remember that. I don't even think PK Subban did that.
I don't.
Um,
I don't
I
know.
don't think,
If it was done, it was probably like we're talking about the dynasty years of Montreal because I don't remember in recent history
me
of it
neither.
being done here at all.
Yeah. That look, Caden Gooley, his transition play, his ability to read the play and either be on the back end in position or on the offensive and leading a rush is unparalleled. We haven't seen this in our time, as you guys just finished saying. I find he's extremely dependable in pretty much all situations.
Yeah.
The degree to which he's comfortable is shocking, if not scary. Um, I don't know if you guys had heard Francois Gagnon was saying that he interviewed Savard after the game was finished. At one point in time, and it's to be expected. We can talk about Jacki, taking the penalty call that led to the penalty shot. They made a few hiccups here and there, which is again to be expected. But Goulet at one point made a pass to Savard when he had two guys basically covering him. François Gagnon interviewing Savard said, well, Savard actually turned and said, Goulet came up to me and apologized after the fact that he put me in a tough position. I mean, like, he's a 20-year-old kid, and he's already, like, he's got the insight to be able to highlight that. I personally think,
the
I'm just
maturity
going to
level is
conclude on
amazing.
this.
I wouldn't apologize to Savard. Yeah.
We're
You know what's coming. You know I gotta say it.
Yeah.
We're all, everybody's got their eyes on, Slavkovsky. Everybody's got their eyes on what Shane Wright's going to do. I swear to God, bold prediction once more. Caden Goulet is going to be up there in the Calder discussions if he plays like this.
Okay.
But
Okay.
it doesn't go to a defenseman
Imagine,
much.
but imagine he comes in and becomes the most used player on the Montreal Canadiens defensive end.
Joe,
Well, how the hell does a rookie come and do that?
Joe, who won it last year?
What's his name?
Yeah,
Morris Sider. Yeah, true. Yeah, 2 years in a row. I don't know. I think I feel like they get but he scored a lot of points. I think they fixate a lot on points, which I don't like, by the way, but a lot of these awards, that's what they fixate on. And just Goulet will put up points just in the position Montreal's in. I don't know if he'll put up enough, but hopefully, I mean, I hope so.
Do you think at some point in his career he could be nominated for a Norris?
I think so, yes. The way he played yesterday as a 20-year-old kid, home debut, season debut in Montreal. I know he had a rocking crowd. It's still pressure against Toronto, which you've struggled with lately, and you handled the job well.
Well, but can you imagine being a kid at that age? You walk in the dressing room and you see on the board, you see Matthews, Marner, Tavares.
I'd shit my pants.
Like, you're going to have to go up against those. And the way Chris...
How many goals did Matthews score yesterday?
Did Matthews even play?
I don't know. Marner?
I think he's gonna walk out of Toronto. But anyways, that's just me.
The only one that we struggle to stop is Nylander. I don't know why. I don't know what it is, but that guy,
he's fast.
He needs to be laid out.
No, what needs to happen after we tank after this year, we get Mitch Scoffer Bedard. Nylander has a falling out with Toronto because it's always been 50-50 and we trade for him. That's the guy that needs to come to Montreal. Yes. Don't give me those eyes. He needs to come to Montreal.
And you call me delusional? What are you, fucking nuts?
Why?
What are you, nuts?
Why?
Why would we want Nylander on the team? Why?
He's a phenomenal player and he will stop scoring against us.
Okay, so what? No. He hasn't proven anything, especially when it matters.
Yeah, but that's Toronto.
Listen,
that's Toronto. That's not a one player.
No,
he's the player that actually shows up in the playoffs. Yeah, he's the one player that shows up.
I'm just busting your chops, Joy. But you want to talk about me being delusional, where I think Gallagher's going to score?
He's going to score 30 goals. Yeah, he's not scoring 30.
Okay. Here, Chris. I'm going to look at you now. A guy being delusional. Here's a guy that fucking think you guys know. I'm probably one of the biggest Montreal Canadiens fans you've ever met, right? You guys know me. Chris, you've known me your whole life. Joel, you've known me since the year 2000, right? Okay. You guys know the game of hockey. I love it to death, right?
Correct.
Okay, I'll give you that.
Joe, the day I skate on the Bell Center ice, I will remember that for the rest of my life. You want to talk about being delusional? Chris, here's a guy who thinks years ago, like during high school, that him and I went skating at the Bell Center together. To this day, he's still convinced I went with him, and it never happened in my life.
I wanted tickets to skate with the Canadians, the background story, and Sam came, but he said he didn't.
I didn't come with you. What the fuck are you talking about?
He did.
No, I didn't. I would have remembered this. I would have told Chris.
No, whether it's right or wrong.
Oh my God.
I'm right.
You're fucking delusional. Like,
whether I'm right or
buddy.
Whether I'm right or Sam is right, whichever.
Oh my God.
You can make the case that it happened so long ago, one of us could have forgotten. That's just a mistake. But Gallagher scoring 30 goals, that's delusional.
That's more realistic than me going on the Bell Center ice with you. Out of all people, with you.
What do you mean out of all people? I went.
I didn't go with you. I wasn't there.
Gallagher ain't
Joey.
scoring 30 goals.
And I
I
never
think-
went to the Bell Center with you.
Yeah, I gotta say, Joey. I know Sammy. He's family. Sammy would like chop off the tip of his finger to be able to have that opportunity to skate. There's no way he would have forgotten it. That's what I'm
No. Don't
trying to
bring
get
this
at.
family. You're taking a side because of family for this. I don't want to hear.
No.
Let's
Look,
get
to
on to
me-
the bigger news.
Yeah,
Let's
I'm
get
gonna-
on. Come on, Sam. We get on to the bigger news. I mentioned Gallagher a couple of times. I've been waiting all episode. How many goals is he scoring this season? You have to give the number.
I between 20 and 30.
So now it's 20 to 30.
Yeah, now it's
Even
20
though
to
you
30.
started with saying 30. You see this, Chris?
Whichever, 20 to 30. Who cares? As long as he scores, that's all I care about.
We all gave a number. You heard yesterday's 2 days ago our podcast.
33. Let's go with that, okay?
Oof, that's delusional. Well,
That's
that also
delusional.
adds. Speaking of 30 goal scorers, we have Chris here, Sam, your cousin. Maybe it's a family thing. Who thinks Habs are gonna have 3 goal scorers this year?
No,
3.
no,
Colorado
he's-
had 3, and they're the highest scoring team in the league.
No, he's delusional too right now. It probably is. It runs in a family, but what do you want? Our family's fucked in the head. So.
Although Anderson is on pace for 82 goals.
Joe,
I'm
we're gonna
so
start
happy for
having
him.
public bets and public
I'm ready.
consequences
It's legal
if these
now,
things
too, huh?
play out.
No, I was
We
happy
will
for
do
Anderson.
Curfew Boys embarrassments and stuff in public. Whoever loses, and we got to film it for the podcast and for YouTube. We'll do that.
Joey,
Losers.
we're gonna get you a pair of Mutand with
I am
fucking
this
Gallagher's
confident
face on it, and
Gallagher's
we're gonna
not
make you
scoring
fucking go
30.
running around in them.
No, we're gonna think of it because I'm this confident Gallagher is not scoring 30, and I'm also confident we will not have 3 30-goal scorers.
Okay. Can we all
I
agree?
made a bet with Anthony. He lost. He says I'm always right. So that was number one. And I'll do the same with you guys. I don't lose much.
Can we all agree that at least Caufield's going to get 30 goals?
Absolutely.
Plus?
He's going to be the 30-goal scorer.
I
Absolutely.
think
I don't think Anderson. Yeah, but at least over 30. I don't think Anderson's going to reach 30. Like, come on.
All right, Sam. You're only semi-delusional. I take it back. Half. Better than none.
You're gonna be blind when I arbor jack at you in the face. Like
You almost threw me off the Bell Center arena. So
that I did. That I remember because your
you
favorite
almost
player,
threw me off the railing when was it
Because-
Koivu or Surrey
yes.
scored?
well, both,
Koivu,
but
yeah,
Koivu, this is Saku Koivu. The one time he's at the point, the umbrella position on the power play,
Nashville
fucking-
Predators.
against Nashville, absolutely rips it, scores. It was like what? It was less
Tying
than
goal. That
it was
was
a tying
very
goal,
late in the
but,
third.
yeah, on the power play. Of course, I grabbed Joey because Joey is a diehard Saku Koivu fan, rightfully so. Of course, I grabbed him, and Anthony was there too. See, I remember. And then
He
Sheldon
just grabbed me. He was gonna throw me over the railing because
Okay,
we were at the first row of the seats of the whites.
Chris, and to our viewers, do you guys remember when Zdeno Chara grabbed Brian McCabe and just fucking
Oh yeah,
ragged
he
all?
literally lifted him off the ground.
I did that to Joey.
Yes, he did. And then Surrey scores the winner in overtime. And what happens? I thought I was dying once. No, he wanted to give me the same experience with Anthony this time.
I took both of them by the neck and I just shook them both to the point where they almost,
Complex,
yeah.
headless pile drive.
Well, that's it. It was the Sheldon Surrey hat trick there. It probably was the only one of his career. But yeah, it was that one against Nashville, and I think they were down like 3-1 or something like that.
Yeah.
So yes. See, Joe, that I remember. Fucking me skating on the Bell Center ice with you. I don't remember that because it never happened. You delusional fuck.
No. I mean, if you think Gallagher's scoring 30, there's something wrong with your brain. So I'll forgive you.
Well, I have fucking fallen on my head a few times. So
There you go.
Joey, at least give me this. There's a chance that Anderson gets to 30. There's no chance that Gallagher gets to 30.
No, I don't give you that because he's not hitting 30. There's no chance.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
no,
There's no chance.
dude, and
He's not hitting
Anderson didn't even.
He's looking better. I'll
didn't-
say he's looking
did not-
better, but I don't think he's going to.
You think Anderson's looking better? I thought he slowed down a little bit.
No, I thought he
No, I thought he did
slowed
the
down
opposite.
in terms of his power rushes, yes, but
Yes.
he was a bit more cerebral. Like he had a bit more like IQ, and he was thinking more about the plays that were happening rather than just bull rushing into the zone with that same move.
So you
Like,
think
he
he's
was
changing?
thinking a little more?
You think he's changing his game a little bit?
Yes, I do.
Well, I was happy for him. Don't get me wrong. It was an awesome goal. And what a feed! Like the Suzuki feed was as simple as it gets, but it's just the knowledge of like Suzuki's looking one way. He's like, yeah, Andy, I know you're open. Just
By the
slide
way,
it through.
that slide, it seems easy, but in the moment of the game, the play, like if Suzuki shot that puck, he didn't have an open lane. Like
No, he didn't.
This is where Suzuki's high end IQ comes in.
It's
And
insane.
I wish Anderson had half of this because he would score 30 if he did. But that little pass to Anderson to give him a wide open shot in the slot, that is phenomenal. Because if Suzuki shot that puck, it wasn't going in. Not that he doesn't have the shot for it. There was no.
No, it's just
you look
no,
at that,
exactly.
it was blocked. That little pass, that IQ play in that moment with 17 seconds left, that shows a first line player. That is elite type level IQ wise.
Wow, what the play before that though, like where he almost backhand sauced it again to Caufield.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just look. Honestly, I think Nick Suzuki showed he's the real deal, and there's a reason why he's the captain. It's funny how we all thought it's like, is he really a number one centerman? Could we put that to rest? I get it. It's only one game. I understand that, but can we put that to rest now?
Yeah, this guy literally took the reins on the fucking Santa sled. He kicked Santa's ass off, and he's guiding that sled, and he's delivering more than Santa Claus already. Seriously.
Jeez, all right.
Is he a number one, like in terms of he'll be better than whatever number two comes in? Like, there's Matthews and then Tavares, there's a clear gap. Now McDavid and Draisaitl, they kind of play together, or Crosby, Malkin. There's a clear number one. Is he that? I don't know if he reached that level because those are the guys that hit 90 to 100 points, but he definitely is a first-line center. Like, he's in a type of mold where it's like a Bergeron Krejci type.
Yeah.
In those ways, which is not a bad thing.
Well, they won the cup together.
Exactly.
Who was in charge? Who was one of the guys in charge of that team? Was Jeff Gordon.
That's right. Though it's fine where he is. The thing is, to progress further is we need to find his partner in crime, not on his line, but who's going to be that guy under him, or I guess the 1B center that is going to take the reins. We found the 1A. Now we need to look at the 1B. Who's going to be that guy?
And it comes back to
where are we drafting this year? Where are we drafting this year? That might answer the question in itself.
That's true. You might see a Bedard, Fantilli, or at worst case, Michkov for wing.
Well, listen, if they do get Michkov, you put him on the first line with Suzuki Caufield, like, Jesus Christ, that's pretty good.
Slafkovsky did say he wants to be their line mate. He's going to push for it.
He did say that, but let's be honest. I think Michkov is going to be a bit more of an elite player than Slafkovsky is. But if you have Slafkovsky as your second line winger, that's pretty freaking good too.
Yeah,
in my books.
Yeah, they both works. Or if you knock on wood, you get first or third, you get Bedard or Fantilli, then you're running Suzuki and Bedard or Suzuki and Fantilli.
So you think we're going to get first and third?
First or third.
Oh, because I was ready to throw the delusional fucking insult at you.
No. Well, we're hoping for Florida to have a miserable year.
So, I'm praying.
I don't know if it's top 10 protected, though.
It's not.
It's not. It's unprotected completely.
It's not top 10. The only one that's top 10 was Calgary for Monahan. That's it.
Perfect. We hope to have a bad. They got worse after their deal. We hope they have a bad year.
Oh man, I hope so.
I like Florida, and I'll root for them if they make playoffs. But during the season, I want them to lose.
Right now, they're getting outshot 8-5 against the Islanders.
It's true. They're still. I forgot there was games on tonight.
Yeah, Capitals.
Arizona's already losing. That's no good.
So Senators, Kachuk, disgusting.
Okay, Flyers are tied with the Devils. That's good. That's all right.
To our fans, the tank that anyone that wants to follow, the main teams to watch out for is Seattle, Arizona, Philadelphia, and Chicago. You want those four teams to win. You really want them to win.
Coyotes are standing apart in the degree of shittiness. They're losing 3-0. They have 4 shots on goal after the first period. Flyers and Devils are tied. I don't know.
Oh, I think Jeff Petrie got his first point as a Pittsburgh Penguin.
Congrats to him. And Washington just took the lead over Toronto. So can we see Toronto 0-2?
Hey, listen,
see it.
the Curfew Boys tweeted on Twitter. If you guys have Twitter, follow us on Twitter. You also follow us on Instagram and Facebook. If you like what you see, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Curfew Boys. I took a screenshot of the standings, and it's Montreal, Boston top, and you have Tampa Bay, Toronto at the bottom. So
Stop the count.
So I said, listen, we're posting this now while we still can and brag about it. So, anyways, I thought it was funny. The next matchup, the Canadians, they're going to head to Detroit, another Original Six matchup. What are you guys expecting? Marty St. Louis confirmed that Jake Allen is back in net for that one. What do you think? Detroit too. They're making progress.
They're slowly improving. I don't follow them enough to know how much they're improving, but guys like Sider and obviously Dylan Larkin.
Yeah.
And who's the rookie forward? They have Raymond.
Lucas Raymond. Yeah.
Raymond. Yeah. They're tough players to play. I think we'll have another good game. I don't think Montreal will get outplayed. I think Saturday is going to be the game where we show against Ovechkin and the Capitals. Yeah. Yes. But Friday, Detroit has never been super great, and they're not super bad anymore. They're just that team that's there, kind of like what we always were.
Yeah.
It'll be tough to see. I don't know what to expect because I don't know how Detroit will be, but I don't think we'll get destroyed.
I think we're looking at a few things. I think this team, especially the young guys, riding a very high emotionally, big time high after that game. So I think that was a huge boost in confidence after not winning the whole freaking preseason. So I think they're going to come out pretty strong. But regardless, as long as it's like the last game, I found myself halfway, especially after Cole Caufield scored that second goal of his. My girlfriend walks in the room and I'm smiling and I'm happy and it's tied and she's going like, well, what the hell is going on? And I'm going, doesn't matter if they win or lose. The guys who we wanted to put up points are putting up points, and I foresee that. So I don't know if we're going to win or lose, but I still think we're going to get more of the same next game. We're going to have 3 or 4 goals, and we're going to see some nice plays, and that'll be that.
Look, this is going to be the reality of the season, and I think that's another thing that we saw yesterday is we're going to have, from start to finish, consistent effort, at least for the most part, and that's what we all hope for. And it's exactly like Chris said. You want to see the best players be the best players. As long as they demonstrate, hard efforts, progression, that's what we want, at least from the forwards. From defense, it's obviously on the weaker side, the less experience. But however, like Joey said, the 3 of them, Jordan Harris, Arbor Jacki, Kaden Gooley, they kind of look like the veterans that were calm, cool, collective. Compared to Savard and Kovacevic, who I thought was decent. He's still
first game.
It's his first game.
Yeah.
It's his first game, but he made a couple. He blocked a lot of shots on the PK, which is good. That guy's. Anyways, he's there for a job, right? He's there. He's fighting for a job. So on the defensive side, especially from the kids, you just want to see progression. You want to see that they're developing the right way. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to make mistakes. A lot of them might be mental mistakes, but you want to make sure that they're learning. And you hope to God that the coaching staff doesn't punish them, which kind of looks like it doesn't seem to be the case. I think they're going to let the kids play. And that's what we want. And I think as Habs fans everywhere, we need to manage those expectations. It's obviously normal for all of us. We're off a high of a spectacular win, an entertaining hockey game. It's hockey's back against our rivals, the Maple Leafs, at the Bell Center, home opener, everything, all that. We're coming off the high. It's totally normal that right now maybe some of us are thinking, maybe they could surprise. Gallagher, Suzuki said that before the season started. Kent Hughes on Wednesday's press conference, he's like, we're hoping that we could surprise a few people, and I think we could. And you know what? Maybe it could happen, but at the same time too, it's we can't get too ahead of ourselves. This is still a young team. They're probably going to get even younger with trades coming up of like guys that are on contract years, like Dadonov, like Drouin, maybe Hoffman, maybe Dvorak, maybe Monahan.
Savard.
Maybe. Sorry, Joe. Don't get your hopes up there, buddy. But no, Gallagher's here to stay. But all that to say is that, listen, if what we saw yesterday is a sample size of the effort that's going to be shown for 82 games, I think fans are conscious enough to know that it's still a rebuild phase. There's still going to be a lot of growing pains. Just please give us effort, give us entertainment, and we're going to cheer you on from start to finish.
That's what we asked for. Obviously, a last place too as a cherry on top bonus, but that's what we asked for. Asking just for, because what they showed last year is like I know there was a whole transition, but fans were happy for the tank, but it was bad. Like,
Yeah,
it wasn't effort shown. It was truly, truly bad. And then towards the end, I think they just like gave out. I really think they did. But this year, I mean, it's trending towards the right direction. We're gonna lose quite a bit, but at least they'll show a lot of effort and give us fans, some things to cheer about.
They're gonna do it.
Suzuki in the court.
Yeah, they're gonna do it for Marty, because if you saw his reaction when they won, like the guy's not a hockey coach. He's still a hockey player. He still has that competitive edge that wants to win. It's only normal.
And if we're missing somebody, he can strap on the skates. I'm sure he'll do better than
probably like Slapshot. He's gonna be a player coach.
Exactly. Yeah.
Just get the Hanson brothers in there. Let's fucking go. So, that's it. You guys have anything else to add before we wrap this up?
No,
I guess no. I do want to say this because of the fact that they're not going to be playing in such a big game with so much going on, and that they got it out of the way. Especially for Slavkovsky, very interested to see what's going to happen tomorrow. I foresee a lot more from him.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so. I haven't checked the lines, but for sure, more details of the lineup is going to get revealed tomorrow as the day goes by. So yeah, that's it. Yeah. So next game, Friday against the Detroit Red Wings in Detroit, and then Saturday the boys come back to face Alex Ovechkin and the Washington Capitals. So lots of good hockey coming up for you. But until then, we're going to thank everybody for tuning in, for seeing us live on YouTube. You're probably hearing this on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Thank you so much for tuning in. Follow us, give us a rating. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. You can always reach to us. We are not all delusional.
No, right? We are.
All in our own way, delusional.
We're all a little bit screwed up in the head, but that's okay, right? So yeah, Joey, Chris, thanks for doing this with me. Enjoy the games Friday and Saturday, and until then,
bye now. Good night.